streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new Bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose to. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with it. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. Jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, man. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. First carry for Nick Chubb. He's got room to run past the 20. And they will finally get him down to the 27-yard line. 19 yards there on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Get set. 180. Low, low, low. Express. White.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And room there to work it inside the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Gun!
They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here's Johnson, and he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Monday, down. 180.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Going down the middle, and it's complete. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Raiders have got him.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep. And got his man complete. 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Point after try forthcoming. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Carr now on 1st down. And Roberts with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress. Yeah,
we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
The first carry down for Ron Kelly. And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now back to throw. And he's got his tight end in Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Chubb on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Get down! 185! On first and 10. Here's Carr. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Carr going to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, then he is coming.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Rob Kelly, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Right side complete. That's Woods. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
No, check.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, this from 48. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Get down, get down. 180. 29. 29.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. On first down, Carr finds Roberts left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Down, 280.
Play action, now it's Carr. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in. Off the tip there, really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it at about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field and following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On the ground with a tight end. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Monday, down. Wide 85.
Again, it's Richard. And able to run. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Down. Wide 80.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He finds Roberts, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Carr. Dancing to his left. And some room to work. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Richard. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. Carr gives to Richard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Down! 180!
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They'll look to throw. That's Njoku over the middle. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flipped it down.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 53 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Robert Woods, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Here we go. Hey, we got 3 down.
Now a handoff to Rashard, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Down. New 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland,